It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday. As we wrap up the Monday show here, we'll go out to the phone lines and talk with one of my favorite people. She really is. She's the Director of Strategic Communications at the Community Foundation for Ocala and Marion County. Allison Campbell. She's also an avid minor league baseball fan, which we could talk for hours about, and a lover of the city of Chattanooga, which I'm okay with. Allison, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tom Schmitz. You are also one of my favorite people, so this always works well when you and I get to talk together.
It really does, and I think I hit all the highlights. I gave your title and that you're an avid minor league baseball fan and you love the city of Chattanooga.
All of those things are accurate. You left out that I am also a Tennessee Vols fan, and this is a big week for the Vols. I'm not looking forward to this weekend, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
Well, anytime you talk about the University of Tennessee, I just shut up.
I know. There's not been much to talk about lately.
But we are talking about Give for Marion, which is a 24-hour virtual fundraiser. Let's start with that. First off, tell people exactly what Community Foundation for Ocala and Marion County is. And I hear you have a guest, and you have a guest with you.
I do, yes. Lauren Diorio, the President and Executive Director of the Community Foundation, is here with me as well. And so I'm going to let her share a little bit more about what the Community Foundation is and does.
Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Great to hear from you.
Well, I am so happy that Allison and I can be with you this morning. So the Community Foundation, I'll give you a little bit of background. We have been in this community for 10 years. I have been in this role for about 3.5 years. And if you were to go online and look up community foundations, you would find that they are all over the country, the oldest one being out of Cleveland, Ohio. And the community foundations were set up as a way to bring in philanthropy into communities and help build some of those private donations as legacy gifts into communities as they grow. Of course, Ocala has been growing by leaps and bounds, and we're kind of no different. We're here to assist donors in trying to make those legacy gifts in our community for community initiatives. And we also work with a lot of our local nonprofits as well through our Nonprofit Resource Center that's here at the Community Foundation office. So our role is really serving the community, helping to make connections, to collaborate with a lot of our lead organizations in the community on community initiatives, but really to assist our local nonprofits, all of them, in our community as they're trying to build capacity and become sustainable as we experience a lot of growth moving forward.
Is this so? Basically, you're a resource and a help to the many nonprofits here, because the one thing I hear people all the time, and I help nonprofits. I'm part of a nonprofit board that we go out and we solicit for donations on that. One of the main things I hear is there's so many people soliciting donations that it's hard to keep up with who's who and where's where. And is that's something you guys help with?
That is correct. You are absolutely right. When it comes to the number of nonprofits in our small community, which is now a medium-sized community because of all the growth, the IRS has it listed that we have 2,600 registered nonprofits in this county, which is a lot. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of duplication of services. So we work very closely with a lot of those nonprofits because, you know, a lot of times they view themselves as just an organization doing a lot of really good in the community. And they are. A lot of them provide critical services. They roll up their sleeves every day to provide services for the most vulnerable in our community. But the reality is they're businesses. They're small businesses. And so our role here at the Nonprofit Resource Center is to help them understand they're a small business and really teach them how to make sure they are transparent for those donors and grantors that provide them with that funding so they can do the great work that they do.
It sounds like that's a great offering that you guys put out there for all the nonprofits. Let's talk for a minute about Give for Marion.
Well, I was going to say, Tom, that was a great segue because you had mentioned that a lot of the nonprofits are out looking for the same donors and the same donations from the same people, and that's what makes Give for Marion so unique, because it is an online fundraiser. We have social media being targeted all around the community, but then it's being shared all around the country. And so folks have the ability to donate to causes right here in Marion County through this online platform and online fundraiser. Give for Marion started last year, and we have 75 nonprofits participating this year. We're really excited to see that nonprofits from all sectors are participating, whether you're a human services organization or supporting animals or the arts or the environment or veterans causes, education, you name it. So really the full gamut of nonprofits that are doing such amazing work in our community. And we really are just ensuring that we're enhancing the quality of life for everyone here in Marion County, and that's what our nonprofits do every day. So Give for Marion is a great way for a gift as little as $10, but certainly as much as people want to give. But as little as $10, basically anyone can participate in Give for Marion.
And now all these dollars, I know this to be fact, but I want my listeners here to all these dollars for Give for Marion stay in Marion County, correct?
100%. So all of these dollars actually go directly to the nonprofit that you're donating to. So there is a very, very small, I think it's a 0.5% fee that might come off of it that comes to the Community Foundation just for helping to administer the program. And then the credit card fees that would be traditional with any credit card or ACH transaction, minimal fees on that. But beyond that, every other dollar given goes directly to the nonprofit that you've chosen to give to. And one thing about Give for Marion also that is unique is donors can actually have an ability to create almost like a shopping cart of giving. So say you're passionate about education and you're also interested in animals causes, and you may want to do $50 here and $100 there and $25 here, and you can just create a whole shopping cart of giving, and each one of those nonprofits that you've chosen receives those dollars directly.
So it's a one-stop shop to give to you said you had over 75 participants this year. Can you tell us some of the participants or where can we go find out if our charity, what the charity we want to give to or the nonprofit we want to give to is part of the list?
Absolutely. So the platform is give4marion.org. So it's give4marion.org. And there's a search feature. You actually can search for the name of the nonprofit, or you can search based on a specific cause. So causes, again, community advocacy, disability services, environment, animals, arts and culture, etc. You can actually search for a specific cause that you might be interested in, and then do the search for the organizations. And so you have two different ways you can search. You can either search by the organization's name or, like I said, search by a cause. But all of that is on the give4marion.org platform, give4marion.org.
You know, I'm part of a committee that is putting on a charity golf tournament to benefit hospice in Marion County. But it's done under the name of a lady who passed away from dementia. Her husband, who was her caregiver, came up with this idea. He started a nonprofit to help run this golf tournament to raise money for the hospice in Marion County. And he's small. It's just, in his nonprofit, it's him and one other person are listed as the board of directors. And then we have this committee that's helping do the golf tournament. It's a very small nonprofit. Is there any size requirements to the nonprofits that can register with you guys to become part of this day? Or is any nonprofit that is a qualified nonprofit by the state, are they eligible to be part of this day?
So any nonprofit that's a 501c3 registered with the state of Florida and the IRS is eligible to participate. And we actually have prizes that will be awarded to nonprofits of two different sizes. So this year we were fortunate enough to have so many amazing sponsors and partners that have come alongside us that we have said even our small nonprofits with less than $1 million budget, and we have lots. We have lots of small nonprofits that actually are all volunteer. Some of them that are participating are all volunteer and don't have paid staff, just like what you're talking about. We have several, actually, that are in that category. So nonprofits that are less than $1 million have the ability in the small nonprofit category to earn prizes, and then those with more than $1 million budget are also eligible for the same prizes, just in two separate categories. So no, there absolutely was no size requirement on what size a nonprofit had to be or what they do necessarily, what all they do in our community. We had no stipulations on that, but we did make it advantageous to them for them to tell us if their budget was over or more than or less than $1 million. So that way we'll be able to award those prizes accordingly.
And is this something though that is? How many years have you been doing this? And is it something that's growing by leaps and bounds?
Yes.
So yeah, this is our second year. So this is only year 2 for us. We have 75 nonprofits, which is close to the same number we had last year. Last year we did bring in a little more than $310,000, and we're really hoping. We're hoping to double that at least. But we have been able to get a lot of support from the community. So we have close to $30,000 in prizes, plus $30,000 in matching moment dollars as well. I want to mention that. So just alone, there's $50,000 to $60,000 right there that's coming into the Give for Marion, just from the work that the Community Foundation has done to secure those donors and those sponsors and partners. And thanks to the community for that wonderful support.
Now this is go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this is a virtual 24-hour fundraiser, so it's going to go on for 24 hours at giveformarion.org. Let me ask you this, though. Are there when you say there are prizes, is that stuff that you can, like, bid on to a silent auction, or is it just you give and your name's drawn randomly? How is it set up? What are the different ways you can give, if there are different ways?
Sure. Okay, so there's a couple of questions there that I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer the last question first. Ways you can give. So it's all online, but you can give through Apple Pay, Google Pay, obviously your credit card. You also can do an ACH transaction if you wanted to do a gift of $100 or more through an ACH transaction. So you can give in multiple ways online. But as far as prizes go, those are actually for the nonprofits, so that if they receive the number of donors that they have in a given hour. And so each hour, a different prize is awarded based on the number of donors that an organization has in that given hour.
And Tom, just so you know, that a lot of our nonprofits, they start thinking ahead of time because of those prizes on how to develop strategies with their donors and their staff in order to encourage people to give so they can win those prizes. The beauty is this year, they can win multiple prizes, whereas last year, being our first year, the nonprofits could only win one prize during that 24-hour period. So a lot of them now are really working on strategies with their donors and with their staff and potential donors on how are we going to try to get as many of those prizes as possible.
And now, can the individual not-for-profits, can they come up with innovative ways to make sure that people, give them money? Is that something that happens with all these nonprofits, or is this just they come in, they say, I want to give, for lack of a better term, I want to give $100 to Brothers Keepers, here's $100, or is there, are individual nonprofits doing cool things to get people interested?
Absolutely. So nonprofits have gotten very creative in what they're doing. So there's some tours going on during the day. They have actually secured some of their own matching dollars, so they have matches and challenges happening throughout the day. So they have lots of innovative and interesting things that they're doing as well. This isn't just something that the Community Foundation has put on. We've had the nonprofits have the ability. We've trained them extensively over the last several months, talking about peer-to-peer fundraising. So they're actually board members and others that are raising money specifically to the nonprofit. And then there are competitions within those peer-to-peer fundraisers. So they're trying to raise somebody else within the organization. And there actually is going to be one prize at the end for the organization that receives the most money in peer-to-peer fundraising. So we've tried to set up a lot of different ways that the nonprofits can get excited and engaged on how they want to participate on both sides. So while we're going to have all of these prizes that really help them from the number of donors they bring in on a given hour, we also want to make sure that we've trained them to tell them how they can maximize their side of the donations. And so whether that's through their own individual social media posts and campaigns that they're running, or the ones that we have running on the Community Foundation page, we're really trying to beef this up and amp this up so that all of the nonprofits participating can be very successful.
I'll tell you what, if anybody's out there listening for next year, if one of the nonprofits wanted to do a silent auction on, couple passes plus hotel room for a weekend of spring training down in Northport so somebody could go watch the Atlanta Braves. I know somebody who would bid real high on that and give a lot of money towards an organization. I just do.
That's great, Tom.
I'm not going to.
Be careful what you say.
I'm not going to say.
Have all sorts of people
I'm not going to say anybody's name, Susan Schmitz.
Yeah. No. Oh, Lord.
Well, nonprofits definitely have the ability to create whatever they want during their time frame, and a lot of them really have been able to go out and secure their own matching dollars, maybe a $10,000 donor or something. But let's talk about that for just a moment. So there are 3 times throughout the 24 hours of Give for Marion. Again, that's give4marion.org. But there are 3 times during that 24-hour period where dollar for dollar up to $100 donations will be matched until the $10,000 matching moment runs out.
Wow.
So that we have a prize at noon on the 21st, so that's noon tomorrow. As soon as 12 o'clock hits, every donation that comes in up to $100, dollar for dollar, will be matched from the Adam Hansen Better Communities Fund. And so as soon as that $10,000 runs out, it runs out. But that's $10,000 immediately that can be dollar for dollar matches. And then we have 2 additional matching moments that are happening. One is at 6 p.m. tomorrow, and the other one is at 9 a.m., the final hour of Give for Marion on Wednesday the 22nd. And both of those are from the Circle Square Foundation. And those are the same formula. So every donation that comes in beginning at that hour at 6 p.m. or at 10 a.m. the next day, at 9 a.m. the next day, but in that last hour, will be matched dollar for dollar up to $100 until the $10,000 matching moment runs out.
The Hansen family does such a great job honoring their son Adam and his untimely death. And then the Circle Square folks out there on top of the world, they do a great job as well. I'm always amazed, Allison, and I guess I shouldn't be, but I'm always amazed because in my position here, I get to talk to a lot of people at nonprofits, a lot of people who have to depend on the population at large of Marion County for their funding. And I'm always amazed at every person I talk to, every CEO or head of the fundraising I talk to, they always have smiles on their face and go, you know what? There's not a better community to live in than Marion County. Whenever we ask, the bell is always answered here in Marion County. And that's just such a good vibe and such a good plus for you guys to do your job and for nonprofits to succeed in the fact that we live probably in the best county, the best area in the state of Florida for people to be generous and come out of their pocket when the time is needed.
Absolutely. And we're hoping that's going to happen tomorrow as we get into Give for Marion. Being the second year, we're anticipating, seeing more in the community coming out. And we really want this to become an annual event for our community. A lot of people had questioned early on about, well, what about Giving Tuesday? That's the national and international day that happens the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Well, our community is very unique because we have a lot of residents that kind of filter into our community for part-time of the year. And as you can imagine, if they're here during Giving Tuesday, a lot of times they'll send their donations back to where they came from. So what we want to see happening in our community is to set aside a day where the community rallies behind our nonprofit community, and that's the day that they give just in our community to local nonprofits. So we're hoping over time that's going to grow just like our neighbors and my cohorts at the community foundations in Gainesville and Sarasota and Miami. They've been doing this for a long time now and have raised significant amounts of money for their communities. So we want to see this grow.
Give4marion.org. That's give, the number 4, Marion.org. Now, it kicks off tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and goes through 9 a.m. on the 22nd.
It's actually 10 a.m. So it kicks off tomorrow at 10 a.m. and it goes through 10 a.m. on the 22nd. And just as Lauren was saying, the slogan that you'll see whenever you click on give4marion.org says, Live Marion, Love Marion, Give for Marion. So we want to ensure that people who live here, who love here, want to give here as well. And so, again, all of our nonprofits are doing everything they can to enhance the quality of life for everyone in Marion County. That's what the Community Foundation's purpose is. We are building a stronger community, one passion at a time, and this is a day that we really can start connecting people's passions to purpose. So as we have more people give and more people love Marion and more people live in Marion, then they can really start impacting those community needs that are so prevalent in our community.
You know, I'm going to say this now. I'm pretty sure a year from now I'll still be here at WOCA unless, my health or something happens. But next year I would like to I'd like to get involved with you guys more, get the program involved with you guys more, and, really help keep this along, because giving is what leads to a profitable life throughout across the board. When you give, you receive back tenfold. And so I think what you guys are doing is God's work, and what the nonprofits here in town are doing are God's work, and it needs to continue to be done. And so anything I can do with my show here to help you, I'm more than happy to do so. And I just want to thank both of you ladies for taking time out today to talk to us. And Allison, we went a whole 25 minutes and the word politics never came up between you and I. It's got to be some sort of a record. It's got to be some sort of a record.
It is. Well, I will go ahead and throw this in. Tomorrow is a political event occurring in our town. It takes 5 minutes to vote, 5 minutes to give. So make sure everybody gets out and votes in the city of Ocala, but also make sure you pull up givefrommarion.org and also give.
Hey, thanks so much. Hey, and by the way, if y'all want to know, you didn't know it, Alice and I could have a spirited conversation about sports, too. She's very knowledgeable in that area as well. Alice and Lauren, thanks for everything y'all do for the community. Thanks for everything you do for the nonprofits in our community. And anything I can do to help you in the future, just let me know.
Thank you for your support, Tom. We'll definitely pick you up next year. Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Thank you. That's Allison Campbell. The fact that I went that long and we never talked politics, Allison Campbell and I, it's quite amazing. And by the way, she's a fantastic, knowledgeable person about sports. She knows her sports. She also knows that the University of Tennessee is no good. She knows that. She knows it in her heart of hearts that, it's great to hate Florida State, better to hate Tennessee. She knows it. She knows it. Birthdays today, Sophia Loren. I didn't even know Sophia Loren was still alive. She's 87 today. George R.R. Martin. Who's that? Just the guy that wrote Game of Thrones, that's all. He's 73 today. Gary Cole, who was in Office Space. Yeah, I'm going to need you to have that TPS report to me by Monday. Yeah, I noticed there wasn't a cover letter on your TPS report. Yeah, I'm going to have you come in and work Saturday. Gary Cole from Office Space. He is 65 today. Kristen Johnston. She was the female on Third Rock from the Sun that was one of the aliens, Third Rock from the Sun. She is 54 today. And I don't know this person, but I'll tell you his name. Adis Hodge from Straight Outta Compton and Hidden Figures. He is 35 today. I saw the movie Straight Outta Compton, but I can't tell you. I mean, it was a biopic on the NWA rap group. So the people that played the Dr. Dre, and I know Ice Cube's son played him in the movie. I know that, but the people that played Dr. Dre, and I don't know what their names are, but hey, could be one of them. But it happens when you get older. You don't know who, like last night with the Emmys. I turned the Emmys off because Cedric the Entertainer wasn't funny, and I didn't know anybody winning prizes. I didn't know anybody, all these Netflix shows, The Crown. It cleaned up last night. I mean, it's not even that good. Well, my wife thinks it's a good show, though, so I'll leave that alone. She thinks it's a good show. So. Hey, I want to thank all my guests today, all my listeners today. Didn't have any callers today. Sorry about that. 622-9622 was the number to get in, but we just moved through the show rapidly today. Just went quick. Give out tomorrow. Go give tomorrow with the foundation. We just spoke with Allison and with Allison Campbell and Lauren with the giveformarion.org. Give the number 4 Marion.org. Go make it happen tomorrow for our nonprofits, folks. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA.